Are there any tools or tips? I know that you had some creative things on how you got people connected, even if they work remotely in person. I know not everything can work exactly the right way or the same way it was before, but do you want to share some of those tips, either what the tools or some of the ways you connect people?
Sure. So we've got three kind of large groupings that are remote: Ireland, New Zealand, and in Canada. So, very different parts of the world, very different cultures, very different organizations. But we do roughly the same thing in all of them. Where we have a group of people that kind of coalesce around a particular town or a city, what we encourage them to do is to, if they so choose, is to organize organic meetups. Not prescribed by the company, but where somebody says, hey, why don't we all get together? Those of us who I live in a city called Cork, why don't we organize a meetup for all the folks in Cork? And what we would then do is we would go and rent a space, be it in a co-working space, we'd rent a conference room, or in a hotel and rent a room for the day. And we would all gather for the day, bring our laptops, come in and work together sort of in a U-shape, a typical kind of your off-site type setup, and work for the day together. And what's amazing is how quiet people are, because people come in and they chit-chat for 5 minutes at the start of the day, and then I'm working, and work away, and then break for lunch, and then do it in the evening. And what's actually happening is they're just scratching the itch of wanting to belong and wanting to be part of a community. And what we've seen happen, Stephanie, is a really interesting thing. People don't go every single time. Like we do it in my hometown in Cork. We've about 40 of us who live in and around Cork. You might have 15, anywhere between 12 and 20 people most times. And what actually happens is people tend to go 1 out of every 3. But you do it of your own volition. You're not mandated to do it. You don't ever have to go. But it's available to you. And the reason why that's so incredibly important is it's available, but you don't have to do it. And you'll find that some people, and which is an interesting thing for a lead as well, when somebody feels the need to go to every single one of them, that's a bit of I wouldn't say a warning sign, but that's something that you need to tune into, going, okay, this person probably needs a little bit more attention, and needs a little bit more focus and a little bit more communication. So that's a very key, simple thing we do. We call those pop-up meetings. We then also have, every summer, we have a kind of a summer meetup, and we have a party around the holiday period as well. So kind of 2 parties that we do in all of the various cities or towns where we have a grouping. And then we have, once a year, we bring everybody in a region together for a couple of days. Now, this year, of course, it's very, very different. What we typically would have done is brought everybody into like a resort for 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and had great time. This year, we're doing that all virtually. And we've just had the first one about a month ago here for the team in Europe, which are mainly based in Ireland. And it was a huge success. I went into it with some element of trepidation that it wouldn't be as good as an in-person meeting. And, it being the Irish, it was a lot of in-person discussions. We did it remotely, and it was wonderful. The connection was really good.